chord, you okay? Okay, cool. All right. All right, guys. So here we are again for another lesson where we're going to be working again on our wonderful F chord that I know you all love. Everybody loves the F chord. Okay, so if you want to play along today, we're going to need a capo on fret number 2. And through this song, we're going to be playing in 4/4 time. We've got 3 chords, just 3 chords. They're going to be actually maybe 4 chords. So we've got an A minor, we've got an F chord, or an F major 7, any F you want to play, and a C chord. That's pretty much it, 3 chords. But there are lots of different changes. Like there's a lot of changes, a lot to remember. So hopefully you've all got pen and paper, because I think what we'll do today, rather than just jumping straight into the playing, we're going to jot out some chord progressions on paper so that you've got it all in front of you. Otherwise I think you're going to get a little bit lost. Okay, so sheet of paper, right, on the top, if we just write out Fields of Gold. I've got to spell fields right, because I always spell it the wrong way around. Fields of Gold. Okay, so we're just going to have that, right? Just Fields of Gold on a sheet of paper. And then we're going to just write out intro like this. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Just a little intro there. And then I'm going to put down, I'm going to write in a 4/4. I'll show you this in a second. All right. I'm just going to jot out 8 bars of A minor. So I've just written it out like this, okay? We've got 4/4 just there, and then just 8 bars of A minor. All right, so just jot that down like that. I've written 4/4 at the start just to remind us that we're going to be playing 4 beats per bar. So for each of those chords, we're going to be playing 4 beats. So for each bar, we're going to have a good old 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to craft our strumming pattern out of that. Yeah, I'll try and get it a bit closer for those of you. It's basically just 4 beats per bar, okay? All right, so we'll just have a quick little look and play through that. Now, if you listen to the song, I'll play from the start, right? 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then something comes in there. So if you listen to the song, that intro again, there's no real definitive kind of guitar section really jumping out. You just get this kind of, listen to it again, you get this cool bass line, and you just get this pad just ringing through with a cool bass line. All right, so when you're playing along with this here, it's really important that you're able to keep that time as you're playing, okay? So we're going to start off beginner, level 1. We're just going to fret a good old A minor chord. In fact, for all levels, we're just going to play the good old A minor chord. Make sure that's a little bit brighter there. Knock this up a little bit more. Okay, so we've got our A minor here, capo on fret number 2, A minor chord. And all we're going to do is we're just going to put one down strum for each of the bars, okay? We're just going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we'll play along with that now. The only thing is, like normal, I can't count you in for the first strum because it's the start of the song, and obviously it's not a backing track, it is the actual song. So we're just gonna have to come in for that first one. You could, if you wanted to, just don't worry about strumming the first bar, come in on the next one, okay? But let's give it a go, okay? 8 bars of A minor, so if you get your A minors ready, make sure that my fingers are in the shot just here. All right, okay, so again, it's just gonna come in, and I will start playing as it comes in, and then you just come in with me, okay? As the best you can. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we've got the verse. So the intro is pretty straightforward. It's just 8 bars of A minor. Now you could play this just with the one strum. If you wanted to, you could possibly play it with 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 down strums per bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. But yeah, intro is pretty straightforward. So this is where it gets a little bit busier in this next section, which is the verse, all right? So I'm just gonna write that out. So if you write verse, now for this section here, I've written this out once already, but it's quite messy. So we've got 1 bar. I'm gonna put 4/4 at the start again. And I'm going to make put my bars in. So we've got 1 bar of A sus2. I think sounds really cool here. You could put an A minor in for the very first chord. We could put an A minor in, and I think for level 1, an A minor is going to work really well because it gives you a first finger anchor to the next chord, which is an F. Okay, but an A sus2 then basically means that we've got an A minor like this, and we're just going to remove the first finger just here. So we just get these 2 fingers strumming from the A string. So we're not going to be hitting the low E string, just from the A string down like that. All right, so it's a bit like an E minor, which would be there, but just down 1 string, and we're strumming from the A string there. All right, so that's going to be our A sus2. So I think in level 2 and 3, we're going to be looking at this A sus2 rather than an A minor. But if you want to, you can put an A minor in here as well, especially if you've just started learning these chords, because it is going to give you this first finger anchor. Okay, so that's our first chord there. Okay, so we've got A sus2. Then we have got 1 bar of F, another bar of F, and a bar of C. So we'll have something that looks a little bit like that. Okay, so for the verse, we've got an A sus2, or you can put an A minor there if you want. 2 bars of F, 1 bar of C. So just jot that down too. All good, okay. Then the next 4 bars, we've got an A sus2 again, or you can put an A minor. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put in pencil above the A sus2, I'm going to put A minor in pencil, just so that you know you can play an A minor there if you want to. And then Right, the next bar, I'll show you this in a second. We've got an F. So I'm going to keep this super simple for a second. So this next bar here, we're going to be playing an F and a C. And to start with, we're going to be putting the F on the first beat of the bar and the C on the third. Although this C, in fact, comes in a little bit earlier in the song. It comes in on the and after two, but we'll look at that in a bit. For now, we'll keep it simple. Just an F on the first beat and a C on the third beat. All right? Okay. Then in the next bar, we've got something similar. We've got an F on the first beat. But now, we've got a G on the third beat. Again, in the actual song, it's not so much the third beat that the G comes in on, it's the and after two, but just for simplicity's sake to start with, sorry, I don't think you can see that, there you go. We're going to just put it on the on the third beat just for now. All right, okay, and then we get an A minor for the last bar there for 4 beats. All right, now we've not finished there. I told you there was a lot of chords and it's definitely worth writing all these down. Okay, so we've got another 3 bars. Okay, we've got that one. Then we have a C and a C. Okay, so these are the last 3 bars here, okay? So in this one here, we have an A minor on the first beat, and we have an F on the third beat. Again, this F here, in fact, comes in on the and after 2, but keeping it simple. A minor on the first beat, F on the third beat. And then we get a C chord for a full bar, and a C chord again for another full bar. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there a second, so you can all just copy it. And I'm just going to check out some comments to see if there's anything that people want to have a little chat about. Okay, so it's so hot and humid. Yeah. Okay, I love the non-digital way you do this on paper. I like writing and feeling things more personal and more human. Yeah, I like the non-digital way. I like getting you guys kind of physically involved with writing these things down, rather than just watching me, just because, I don't know, I think it's a really good way to learn when you kind of like immerse yourself in what's going on. Okay, what strumming pattern works the best for this song? We're going to get to that. For now, we're just going to keep it simple. Once we've got the chord structures down, we'll then start playing through with various strumming patterns, etc. But until we've got this structure, because it's so kind of, there's so many chords there, it'll be a bit fiddly if we didn't do that. Okay, for those who do not have paper, you can always print screen. Ah, there you go. Yeah, maybe you can take a screenshot and then print. Or maybe there's a better way in Zoom you can do it. I'm not sure how to do that, and I'm not sure if you can do it, but okay, so this verse here, let's give it a play. That's the first time around that you have to do it. Let me give you one more, okay, because this is only, believe it or not, half of the verse. Blame Sting for that, not me, right? So we're gonna, I'll draw a line there just so that you can see. We'll call it basically, just to simplify again, we'll call this, what we've just written down there, part 1 of the verse. Part 1, and we'll create a verse part 2. Obviously, you wouldn't kind of officially call this part 1 or part 2, but I think it makes sense in regards to just remembering what's what. So now part 2 is essentially pretty much almost the same, right? So part 2 if you just repeat the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you repeat the first 8 bars but change the last A minor to a C, that's part 2. Okay, so if you wanted to, you could just scribble on what you've already got there, put a C there. I'll rewrite it here though, just so that we've got it. Okay, so 4, 4 again. We've just got 8 bars in total. And so we're just going to repeat the A sus2, F, F, C, A sus2, then we have 1 bar F and a C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 bar of F and a G, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the end, rather than playing an A minor, we have a C. So if you want to rewrite it, it's going to look a little bit like that there. So as you can see, the first 8 bars are exactly the same, but the only thing that changes is the last of those 8 bars. It's a C rather than an A minor. Okay, so just give you a couple of you. Somebody's asked, what about the 12th bar of part 1 of the verse? There is no 12th bar. There's just 11 bars. Where does that leave off on the lyrics? We'll get to that. Which reminds me, if you've got access to the tabs, you can basically, on the JustinGuitar website, if you've got access to the tabs, this is what you'll get. 2 really cool things. You'll get the chords. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that, but you get the chords and the lyrics in one area like that. And you also get, there's also a tabs section. If I click that there, where you get basically just what we're writing out here. Can you see that? And it looks a little bit like that. So if you've got access to these tabs, always kind of like load them up, print them out before these sessions begin, because they're really helpful. All right then, so now then, what we're going to do, once we've played this introduction once, right, make sure that's in the screen, we're going to play both part 1 and part 2 of the verse once, and then we're going to repeat part 1 and part 2 of the verse again. Okay, and that then takes us into the next section of the song, which we're going to call the bridge. All right, so we've got intro, then we need to play verse part 1, part 2, then repeat verse part 1, part 2. Now, hopefully you've got them all down together on your sheets there, so you can kind of recall them as we play through. We'll play through to start with just a down strum on each chord, okay? So I think for the intro again, just a good old A minor on the first beat of each bar. Sounds really cool. 1, 2, 3, 4 for 8 bars. That's our intro, right? So for the verse, I think if you just started kind of playing these chords, I think just strumming the first beat of each bar is probably going to be the way forward. And I would play the first chord here, which is an A minor. I'll just come in a bit closer. I would play this A minor rather than an A sus2, because with an A minor, when you change to the F chord, you've got this first finger anchor, okay? Also, guys, I think at the very start of the lesson, I might have said that there's just an A minor, an F, and a C in this song. There's not just an A minor, F, and a C. There's a G as well, okay? So this A minor here then, I would play the A minor if you're just new to these chords. And then if you're changing to the F for the first time, just play this mini F like this, or mini F major 7 with an A in the bass, okay? So that would be A minor here, 2 fingers up keep first finger there, second finger fret 2 on the G, and third finger fret 3 on the D. Now you can strum from the A string here and pluck through all of those notes there. I'm playing a version of the F where the E string here is ringing open. If you wanted to practice your first finger little pivot like this, where you get an FF rather than an F major 7, you can do that. If you wanted to practice it more with the bar chord, you can do that as well. It's entirely up to you. So if you're first starting out, I would definitely just practice it with this one here. Me personally, I like to play it using this version. So I'm not, pardon me, I'm not ringing this low E out. So you can avoid that one. You can either mute it with the tip of the third finger. I tend to use my thumb. If you've not done bar chords yet and your thumb is back here, use the tip of the third finger. But if you've got your bar chords going down and you started using your thumb, bringing it over the top, you can use the thumb to mute it. Or if you struggle to get the third finger to mute the string, just try to avoid it essentially, just to start with. Okay, and then when we go from this C here, we're going to go, when we go from this F, we're going to go to the C. Now, remember, when we go from an F major 7 to a C, we can keep first finger down, and we could keep third finger down. We would then take off second finger and finger 4, and then just move second finger up fret 2 on the D string there. All right, so it's basically you've got a finger 1 and a finger 3 anchor. Some people, from when they're playing from an F to a C, some people like to take off these 3 fingers altogether. These 3 altogether, and then just place fingers 3 and 2 down. So you get this kind of change, like this. Some people prefer that. Or if you're doing the mini, you're going to go from these 2 fingers here, and you're just going to take these 2 up. If you're just getting into these chords, just take them both off. Place second finger down, just here. Third finger down, just here. Okay, so mini F to the C, or this F here to the C. Then we go back around, we got A sus2 for a bar, F to the C, F to a G. Now if you play in a G from this F here, you can play whichever G you want again. You could split the 2 fingers here. This would probably be the optimal way, because you don't have to move the fingers so much. Just gonna have a drink a second. So this would be the one if you want to get that one. But if it's a bit tricky, pardon me, you can go to any G that you want. You can go to this one, or if you're going from here, you can go to this one. If you're kind of like just starting out and you're doing this mini F, you could, to be honest with you, just take the third finger, just place it on fret 3 there, and just strum that. So nothing else, just that as a complete beginner thing. Go from the mini F here, just third finger just there. Sorry, I got a bit of a croaky voice. Excuse me. All right then, so, and then we've got a G. So if you're playing this version of the G here, we're going to be going back to the A minor, like this. All right, let's give it a playthrough, okay? It's basically, we're playing through A minor, or A sus2, F, C, and G. A bunch of chords we've gone through in the last couple of lessons. So hopefully your changes are looking okay on those, and you know how to play them, etc., etc. All right, so let's give it a go through. I'm going to give us a count of 4. We're going to play through part 1 first of all. And to start with, I'm just going to do 1 down strum per chord, okay? So I'm going to play the sus2 2 because I like the sound of that. But you can obviously play the A minor if you want. All right, after 4, here we go, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and F, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4 to C, 2. Back to A sus2, A sus2, 2, 3, 4. Then F, 2, C, 2. F, 2, G, 2, and A minor, 2, 3, 4. Then A minor, 2, F, and C, 2, 3, 4, and C. A lot of chords, right? Okay, we'll try that again, right? One thing that I didn't mention just a bit earlier, guys, is if you are playing this A sus2, obviously the change to the F is going to be fiddly because you're essentially making what we'd call an A change, where the fingers leave the strings completely, there's no anchor fingers, and then you've got to shape up, you've got to make the shape of the chord in mid-air so that all the fingers go down together. You could try it so you get finger 1, finger 2, and then just build them up like that to start with. But essentially you want to be getting the fingers down at the same time. So if you're new to playing this F chord, an F chord with a jump change, or an A change, sorry, what you can do, you could start off just from the A sus2 with a mini F and just work that. That's if you want to go with the A sus2. If you feel comfortable with that change there, then we can try it with the fuller version there. A sus2 and the jump just there. All right. Okay, let's try that again. So hopefully you've all got your sheets. All right, I'm going to give us a count of 4, and we will give it a little playthrough. Actually, before we give it another full playthrough, let's take a little look at the bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take a look at bars 6, 7, and 9, where we've got we've got 2 beats. We've got 2 chords per bar. So if we look at the 6th bar, we've got the F, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we'll just take a little look at those to start with because they can be a little bit fiddlier than if you're playing a bar per chord or a chord per bar. So the 6th bar, then we're going to strum down on the F, 1, 2, then 3, 4. Okay, the 1 is going to be the F, 1, 2, then the 3 is going to be the C. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we get, in the 7th bar, we get an F, 1, 2, 3, 4, F to the G. All right, so let's just try that F to the G again. Ready? 3, 4. F, 2, G, 4. And then on the 9th bar, we're going to get the A minor to the F, using the same principle, okay? We're going to get A minor, 2, and then F on the 3, okay? So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. Try that again. 3, 4. A minor, F. Okay, so that's kind of the speed at which you've got to make those changes. Okay, so let's go through part 1 again, starting on the A minor or the A sus2. Okay, after 4, right? 1 strum per bar to start with. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 to the F. 1, 2, 3. Stay on F. 1, 2, 3 to the C. 1, 2, 3 to the A sus2. 1, 2, 3 to the F. To the C. And F. And G. And A minor. 2, 3, 4, then A minor, and F, and C. One more C. Sorry. Sorry, guys, I'm just going to grab a glass of water a second. My throat is a bit up to speed. 1 second. Sorry, a glass of water in a mug, not something you see every day. All right, so I'm just going to check the chat to see if everyone is following along okay. Okay, so you can use the barcode for F, yes. And can I use, just move the F up 2 frets to the G? Yeah, of course you can. You can do that. So somebody is asking if we are playing, if you're playing the F like this, can we then move up 2 frets, 1, 2, to the G chord here? So the F, 2. You can do that for sure. That's bar chords, so it's probably a little bit beyond the scope of this beginner lesson, but if you can do that, absolutely. Where's the cat? I'm not sure. It's quite hot today. She shoots off somewhere when it's hot. She might be about. We'll see. Okay, somebody drinks scotch in a mug. That's cool. I like it. Okay, cool. So then, let's check out part 2. We'll give that a play through. And then what we'll do, we'll try and put part 1 and part 2 and the verse together with the audio, okay? So hopefully we've got the timings for these now. So I'll just give us a count in and we'll play through. I'm not going to do too much talking though, because I can feel my throat really playing up. So I'm just going to count, all right? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. A says 2, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4. And C, 2, 3. Back to A says 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. F to C. And F to G. And now just the C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's part 2 there. So obviously, I'm just strumming that there just with down strums. So I think if you wanted something a little bit kind of more interesting to strum along to, it kind of depends on your level, really. I think if you're just getting into these chords, just do the down strum. And if you just do a down strum, it'll give you much more time to change to the next chord. If you're finding that straightforward, then just try the 4 down strums, and if you've got that, we can strum something more like so that is, I'll write this down. It works pretty nicely. Justin's got a lesson of this up on YouTube too, so you can check that out, and I'm pretty sure this is the strumming pattern that he uses on there, I think. So strumming pattern wise, we're going to have 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So if you want to write this down, just start off with a good old 4, 4 and a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just like that. And then we're going to strum 1, 2, 4. Okay, we'll put that one there. 1, 2, 4. Okay, and we put that one there. So we'll put a little. So we're just going to fill it out like that, okay? So we're going to strum the 1. We're going to strum the 2. We're going to strum the and after 2. Then we're going to miss that number 3. All right, we're going to strum down, but we're going to miss the strings. So we keep the hand moving. And then we're going to strum the 4. So it'll be 1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4. Down, down, up. Down, 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 up. Down. But be sure to put this one in there as a ghost strum. So if we just hold our A sus2 or our A minor, we're going to have 1, 2, and 4. Okay, so think of it down, down, up, miss, down. I'll show you that again. down, down, up, miss, down. Down, down, up, miss, down. So I'll try 4 of those in a row, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, miss, down. 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 So you can work on that. Up to speed is going to be more like... And then with our progression, I'll just bring that back up on the previous page. So on this one, we'll get more something like... Okay, so something we can take a little look at as well for those of you that are a little bit more advanced is we can take a little look at these bars where we've got 2 beats per bar, okay? So if we go to our strumming pattern here, say we take the 6th bar from part 1, which is an F to the C, okay? Now, if you're kind of more level 1 for these sessions, just stay with the F on the first beat and the C on the third. But if you feel comfortable, what I want you to do is put the F on the first beat, and then put the, make sure I get that right, yeah. Just so you can see this clearly. Oh, hopefully that's a little bit. Hopefully I'll just kind of 1 F. My ink is smudged a little bit, but hopefully it still makes sense. So what I've done here, my ink is smudged a little bit, but we're going to put the F. If you're going to go with this strumming pattern here, we're going to put the F on the first beat, right, and now the C on the and after 2. Now we call this a push. It just gives a slightly different kind of feel when you do this, all right? So I'll show you how that's gonna sound. So rather than going say 1, 2, 3, 4, we're gonna go 1, 2, and. So it's the and after 2. So you can strum down, down, up, and then put the C change on that up. Now you've got to, you need the changes, the chord changes down quite comfortable to make that change. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. And now if you want to, on these bars, the one that we miss, to make it a little bit more simple, that third beat there, you can just hit that if you want to. You can hit it. Like whenever you're strumming something like this, if you've got a specific strumming pattern and you're playing through a piece of music, it's always cool anyway, you know, if you hit any of these other beats kind of accidentally, or if you decide just to add them, it sounds really cool. If you stick to the same strumming pattern kind of religiously through a whole song, you can get a tiny little bit samey. That's totally cool. When you're just starting out and you're just learning strumming patterns, but when you get a little bit more comfortable, just know that you can add different beats of the bar as you're strumming, just to add a little bit of interest. So just to go through that again, right? We're going to be changing on the and after 2. Okay, so we can look at, we just looked at the F to the C, which was the 6th bar of part 1. We can look at the 7th bar, which was the F, the G. So it would be down, down, up, and it's the G on the up, okay? So it's going to be 1, 2, and 3, 4. That's using the strumming pattern we've just come up with. So 1, 2, and 3, 4. If you want to hit that third beat with a down strum, you can though. That would sound like this. 1, 2, and 3, 4. This might be a little bit fiddly for some of you. If that's the case, don't worry about it. Just stick with the good old 1, 2, 3, 4. All right then. So, does anyone have any questions regarding anything we've gone through before we move on to playing this lot, what we've covered so far through with the music? Anyone? So somebody's asking if the song's in the key of D. No, so the song is in the key of B minor, but we're kind of thinking of it as being in the key of A minor because we've got a capo here. And to super duper simplify it, we can think of it as being in the key of C, even though it probably is in the key of A minor, but A minor and C major, relative majors and minors. So we know that in the key of C major, we've got the one chord, which is a C. We've got the F, which is the 4. We've got the G, which is the 5, and the A minor, which is the 6. So it's those same 4 chords that we've been working on for the past number of sessions. Okay, so show strum again for the F to the C, yeah. So this is not just for the F to the C, this would be the same strum for the F to the G and the A minor to the F. So whenever you've got like 2 chords per bar, you can use this strumming pattern. So I'll show you it on the screen here, written down first. So it was that. Again, apologies for the smudgy highlighter. We got 4 beats. We're strumming down on the 1, down on the 2, up on the and after 2, and that's where we're making the change from the F to the C. And then this third beat here, we were missing it, but you can hit it if you want. And then we're hitting that 4th beat there as well. All right. What strings are you playing on the up strum? The up strum, yeah, so the up strum, you're not like hitting, you're not kind of like hitting, if you're coming down and you're hitting all the strings you need to be hitting, so from the 5th on let's take the A sus2, right? Where you've got from the A string down, I'm going to be strumming down pretty much on the 5 strings, but then up maybe on kind of like 2, 3 strings. It's always a little bit less rather than all the strings. And I personally, I tend to strum down this at a slight angle. So I'll be down, and then I'm kind of up and away rather than coming directly down. Now, if you're a complete beginner, then you're probably going to be moving mechanically from the elbow, which is going to give you more of a down, down, up, where you're going to be hitting 5 strings on the down and the up. That's just the motion mechanic of the elbow. If you want to, you can start experimenting. I use a little bit of what we call forearm rotation, like this, where you basically, if you put in a key in a lock, and you turn the key, that's the motion there. You can see if I just get that motion there, the pick kind of moves. So if I was to strum just totally with forearm rotation, I'd get that pretty much. If I come here, again, this is forearm rotation. So I tend to use pretty much a mix of both elbow and forearm rotation, just to get that, because I want to be strumming down, kind of with more 5 strings involved, and the up with just a couple of strings. You can still do that with the elbow as well, but if you get a little bit of forearm rotation in there, you can experiment with that movement. So yeah, I'm kind of going down on the 5, then up on just maybe 3, I reckon. Okay, cool. Right then, guys, so let's give this a go with the music. All right, I'm going to call the chords out to hopefully help you all stay kind of on track, because I'm quite aware that if you lose track, you might kind of be like, oh, I don't know where I am. Now, a really good bit of advice, I think, when you're playing music is if you ever kind of like lose your place, rather than just stopping and thinking, oh, I've kind of lost my place. Okay, I'll just wait for it to start again. Try to practice what I call simply recovery. And that means see if you can recover as quick as you can and get back into the song as quick as you can. Because if you're playing with other musicians, whether it's just jamming through songs or whether you're playing a gig or whatever, you know, no, people are not going to kind of stop essentially. And you don't want to be there kind of, you know, with your guitar in your lap thinking, oh, I'm completely lost. So practice recovery. And the more you do that, the quicker and the better you'll be at it. So, you know, everyone makes mistakes on the guitar, especially during live performances, even kind of like, you know, pros and things. But the one thing you'll find with pros is that they're just super good at recovering, like so good that if they make a mistake, you probably didn't even know they made a mistake. They did, but you probably wouldn't even know it. Okay, here we go then, right? So we're going to go from the intro. I'm going to count the bars out. After 8 bars of A minor, we're going to go into verse part 1 and verse part 2. So I'm going to do my best to play along. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to play one strum per bar, or one strum per chord. But for those of you that want to try the strumming pattern, you can go for that. Maybe we'll play it through once or twice, and second time round I'll play it with all down strums. Maybe we'll do it 3 times and I'll start putting the strumming pattern in. All right, here we go. So I'll try to give you a big when we're going to come in, all right? Just a little bit of an indication. All right, here we go. Oh, wait a second, and again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3. That's 4 bars. 2, 3, 4. 5, 2, 3, 4. 6, 2, 3, 4. 7, 2, 3, 4. 8. Now the verse. A says 2. 1, 2, 3 to F. 1, 2, 3 F again. 1, 2, 3 to C. 1, 2, 3. A says 2. 1, 2, 3. F to C and F to G. And A minor. 1, 2. A minor to F. And C. 2, 3, 4. C. Back around. Now part 2. A says 2, 3, 4. F 2, 3, 4. F 2 and C coming up. A says 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. F 2, C 2 and F 2 and G. Now C. Repeat all that again, right? From the A says 2. 2. This is part 1. F 2, 3, 4. F 2, 3, 4 and C. Back to A says 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. F to C and F to G. And A minor. 2, 3, 4. A minor. F and C. 2, 3, 4. C. Part 2. Last time. 2, 3, 4. F 2, 3, 4. F 2, 3, 4 and C. 2, 3, 4 and A says 2. And F to C. And F to G. And C. 2, 3, 4. Now this is the next part here. Okay, so before we go into the next part, I'm going to strum the whole thing with down strums, and I will do it again, and I'll do the fuller strum, okay? So from the top, shall I slow that down a little bit as well? Just a little bit, just to maybe down to like 80%. So the speed's going to be this, right? 2, 3, 4, 1. Might help a little bit, I reckon, okay? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. This is the intro. 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8. Here's the verse now, all down strums. 1, 2, 3, and F. 2, 3, 4, and F. 2, C, 2, 3, 4, and A sus 2, 3, and F to C, and F to G, to A minor, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, F, 2, and C, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, part 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and F, 2, 3, 4, F again, 2, 3, 4, and C, 2, 3, 4, A sus 2, 2, 3, 4, F to the C, and F to the G, and to the C, 2, 3, 4. And then it repeats part 1 and 2 again. But this time around, what we'll do, I'll play it again, but we're going to use the strumming pattern where we're going to be strumming 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. Okay? So if you're playing along and you're not quite ready for that strumming pattern, totally cool. Just stick with either the 1 strum per bar or the 4 down strums, all right? Okay, so here we go. So just to point out, for the intro, I'm just always going to do the 1 down strum because I think it just feels a bit, it feels quite right. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. This is the 4th bar coming up. 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3. Here we go. And F, F, and C, and A sus 2, and F, C, F, G, and A minor, and to the C, 1, 2. Part 2 coming up, A sus 2, to the F, F again, for C, 2, 3, A sus 2, and F to the C, and F to G, and C, 2, 3. Then again it goes to part 1, it does that, and then it goes again to part 2, and then that will take us up to the next section. So I'll just bring us really quickly up to the next section. So it's here, right? So we're going to be starting that here. So this next section, and believe it or not, guys, this next section is the, after you've got this next section here, we're pretty much, we've got all the progressions down. Just the first verse, part 1 and 2, kind of repeats with a little twist. So I'm going to get you to write this down really quickly now. So again, we're going to call this part the bridge. If I find my pen. Okay, so this part we're going to call the bridge. So we'll write down bridge. And we've got 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 1 bar of F, 1 bar of C, 1 bar of F, 1 bar of C, 1 bar of F, 1 bar of C. Then we've got 1 bar of F on the first beat and C on the third beat, or the and beat after 2, depending on which way you're doing it. Then we get a C after that. Man, there's a lot of chords in this song. 1, 2, 3. And then we get, so just to let you know, just to go through that again, we've got 1 bar of F, 1 bar of C, 1 bar of F, 1 bar of C, 1 bar of F, 1 bar of C, 1 bar of F on the 1 and C, no, sorry, F on the 1 and G on the 3, and then we've got 1 bar of C. After that, we've got 1 bar of F on the 1, 1 bar of G on the 3, and then 2 bars of C. So it's going to look a little bit like this. Hopefully I've rushed this just because I'm checking the time and I'm running a bit behind. It's going to look a little bit like that. So again, a bunch of F, C's and G's, but in a very specific order. This is a really cool song to challenge you kind of mentally in regards to kind of remembering chord structures and things. Okay, so just reading the comments there. Someone's asking, is the verse part 2 8 bars or 11 like part 1? It's just 8 bars, so it's different. So that's verse part 2 there. Just 8 bars, essentially. Okay, that was the verse part 2. So this, we're going to call this new part here the bridge. Also, guys, I'm not sure if any of you've got the app, the JustinGuitar app, but if you have, you can basically, it's really cool. You can basically play along with this song. The chords kind of like come up on the screen, this, that, and the other. And if you've got the app, you'll know what it's all about. Give it a go. If you're not, you can try it out. You can have a free trial on it. Just download it, give it a go. And if you like it, cool. But if you don't, you know, nothing to lose, right? Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to give this a little playthrough. Again, we're going to use the same strumming patterns depending on what level you're at. If you're doing a level 1 stuff, 1 strum per chord. If you're doing level 2, we'll just do 4 down strums. And if you're doing level 3, we'll do the full strumming pattern that we did just now, okay? All right, so I'll start off with just a down strum. We're going to start off on the F chord, all right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4 to C, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4 to C, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4 to C, 2, 3, 4, then F, 2, G, and C, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, G, C, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's what that bridge is going to be there. So let's give that a play through. Strum it any way you want to strum it. Let's just... Okay, so just got to double check I bring us in the right place. Where am I going? Okay. Wait a second. Have I got a... Where am I? I'm just going to bring it back up to full speed. I'm a little bit lost in the song. Okay, so I've missed that bridge out. Where is that bridge gone? So maybe back here. Okay, nearly there. Okay, so I'm a little bit lost in regards to the song. So what we're going to do, I'm going to play it through, right? From the start, we'll just get up to that bridge. This is the intro. Okay, I'll count you in for the verse, right? I think here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, C, 2, 3, 4. A says 2. A, C to F, sorry, F to G, A minor, F and C. I'll just do downstrum, sorry. C again, so part 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, and C, 2, A says 2, and F to C, and F to G, and C. Now we go back to part 1, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, A says 2, 4 and F and C, F to G, and A minor, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Now part 2 coming up, right? Part 2 of the verse. 1, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, and C, 2, 3, and A says 2, and F to C, and F to G, and C, 2, 3, 4. So this here is where the bridge comes in. All right, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to bring us in just before that, and then we'll give it a playthrough. Again, I'll just slow it down to maybe 80%, just to give you just a little bit more kind of leeway, just to make the chord changes. So let's start off then on that F. Ready? Just before, on the F chord. Ready? 2. Here we go. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4 to C, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. F to G and C. F to G coming up. F to G and C. 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that one more time, right? I'll strum down on every beat now. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4, and C, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4, and C, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4, and C, 2, 3, 4. So F, 2, G, 2, C, 2, 3, 4, and F, 2 and G, 2 and C, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Now I'll put in the full strumming pattern. So we're going to have after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And C. F. And C. And F. And C. F to G coming up. C. And F. And C. Cool. And then, guys, we've got a little bit over time, so sorry about that if you've got kind of plans or anything. But if you have and you've got to leave, totally cool. I'll finish off the lesson now, though, and you can always catch the recording of this if you do have to leave. Okay. So once you've done that, we're pretty much almost at the end, because once you've done the verse like we've just done it, you then have that bridge section there. And then we get an instrumental section, which is what we're going to listen to right now. So it's going to come in here. It goes like this. So this part here, okay, is essentially, it's going to be... it's the verse, there's no singing, but it's the verse part 2. All right? So what we can do, we can try that, we can give that a little play through. It's the verse part 2. So I'm just going to slow it back down to 80%, just here. And then I'll bring you in just before. I'll give you a count in, and we'll just play the verse part 2. I'll just do this one with all down strums to keep it nice and simple. But let's see where that takes us in the song, all right? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 to the F. 2, 3, F again. 2, 3, and to the C. 1, 2, 3, A sus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. F to C. And F to G. And C. 2, 3, 4. Then he starts singing again, the verse. This time, when he sings this verse, again, we're just repeating. So in music, you're going to see heaps of repeats like this all the time. So now you're just going to play the verse, part 2, with singing, okay? So I'll bring us in just before that. So just at the end of the instrumental, I'll give you a count of 4. We're just going to play verse part 2 again, okay? Okay, here we go. Let's get this in the shot. Okay, verse part 2, already on the A minor or A sus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And F, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4 to C. 2, 3, A sus 2. 2, 3, 4. F to the C. And F to the G. And C. 2, 3. Good. And then, again, we're going to repeat verse part 2 again, okay? So I'm just going to bring us in for the last time round, verse part 2. I'm pretty sure that's the end of the song. So I'll just bring you in there. Ready? I'll give you a count of 4 for when we come in on that A sus 2. 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4. And C, 2, 3, 4. A sus 2, 2, 3, 4. F to C. And F to G. And C. 2, 3, 4. And then you get this little part here, which I'm going to refer to as the outro. Now this little outro part essentially is going to be, make sure I get this in the shot, it's going to be, so the last part of verse part 2, which is down here, right? You've got the F to the G in one bar, and then we've got this C. So we're just going to repeat that there, according to my notes. I think, let me listen to it in case I got it wrong. G, C, F, G, C. And then it stays on the C, I think, for like 7 bars. All right. So what we're going to do, just so that you know, right, I'll bring us in from the start of this, the last time round we play this verse part 2. When we get to the end there, we're going to play it as normal, but then we're going to repeat this part here an additional 2 times, all right? And then we're just going to stay on a C chord, all right? I'm just going to double check that, I'm pretty sure. So if I come here, if I bring it back here, actually I'll bring this back to the start of that section. Yeah, okay. So a little bit further back. Okay, I'll give you a count in, right? This is the last time around part 2 of the verse. When you get to the end, just repeat the last 2 bars. I think it's an additional 2 times. But we'll check it, okay? Okay, I'll give you a count of 4, right? Verse part 2. 1, 2, oh, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4. F, 2, 3, 4. And C, 2, 3, 4. A says 2, 2, 3, 4. F to the C. And F to the G and C. Repeat F, G, and C. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. One more time. F to G. 1, 2, and to C. 1. Now stay on the C. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. And that's pretty much the whole song there, guys. Let me stop that. That's pretty much the entire song. It's a great one again for practicing your A minors, your Fs, your Cs, and your Gs. And it's also really cool one because you can practice going to from an F or to an F from an A sus2, which is a bit more of a jump. There's heaps of chords. The difficult thing is with this one, I think, above all else, once you've got your chord changes down, it's just remembering kind of all of the parts essentially. So give that a go. Before you go, I've got to just share my donation link. So if you've enjoyed the session and you'd like to leave a thank you to JustinGuitar, just consider a donation using that link there. But cool. Has anyone got any questions just to finish up? I'll just have a quick little read through, make sure that I've covered everything. Okay, let's have a look. Fields of Gold. Used to be on the app, but it got taken. Oh, did it? Oh, sorry about that. I didn't realize. Okay, so Fields of Gold. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, I'll double check about that. Fields of Gold on the app. Let me double check it. Okay, so when you were playing the F chord, are you strumming the high E? Yeah, I'm leaving the high. I'm playing it as an F major 7, so that E there, I'm leaving it ring out. You could strum it with the first finger anchored like that, and you can even play it with the bar chord as well if you want. Please, can you show your sheets as I missed them earlier? Yeah, this is being recorded as well, and it'll be up on the website pretty quickly. So this was the, that there was the, maybe take a picture on your phone. Oh, that's the first part there. That's the second part there. As I said, it'll be recorded, guys, and you'll be able to watch it back. And then this was the bridge section. And when it comes to that little instrumental section and playing the verse at the end of the song, it's essentially just the verse part 2 repeated with that little outro we've just gone through. Okay, gotta go. Cool, thank you for turning up and having fun. Thank you. Thanks, guys. It is good for practice because it is not. Yeah, it's a good one, that's it. And if if you kind of go on to YouTube and things, and if you're going to listen to the song through YouTube, you can slow it down. You use it, click the little cog button, the little settings, go to speed, and you can kind of slow the song down to a speed that kind of that works for you, which I always highly recommend because you're not rushing. Then you're kind of performing the chord changes at a pace where you can control them and make them nice and clean and all together. Okay, thanks, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for all the kind remarks. Equals police SOS. Yes. Okay, 5%. Thank you, guys. I have the song in my JustinGuitar beginner song, but yeah, cool. On part 1, just A minor F C only once in repeat. The toe part 1 repetitions, correct? In part 1, just do the A minor F C C only once. Yeah, if you just follow that sheet, if you've not kind of like got these written down or anything, just check the recording. It'll all be there, and you can use the recording as well just to kind of like practice at the various speeds that we did in the session as well. All right, guys. So Cool. I think that's all good, guys. I'm sorry I've kept you a little bit longer than normal, but thanks again for all turning up. Really, really grateful. Take care, and I'll see you all again in the next beginner club. All right. Cheers, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.